I will be ranking every Generation 8 Pokemon plus PLA in one video. Let's go. Comparing to my Scarlet and Violet ranking, go check that out if you haven't. All these shinies are so much better, most of them. First off, we got the starters of Generation 8. The Grookey line, I think it really works. I love the fall autumn colors. I think the colors carry out through the entire evolution, so I think it's A tier. Score Bunny though, I think it does take a dip. I like Raboot the second stage, but overall I think it's a miss. I'm gonna put it in C, could be better. As for Sobble, I actually quite enjoy this whole line. I really like the pink instead of the yellow. I think it works a lot better. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Now the Orbeetle line, I actually quite enjoy the last two stages. I'm gonna put at not bad because I quite enjoy the purple. Now Rookity to Corviknight, the shiny is not bad. I'll put it in B tier. I really think Squovit's like not bad at all, but Greedent's really hard to see, especially in Scarlet and Violet. I'm pretty sure I've like ran past a few that were shiny and just didn't know, so I'm gonna put it actually in downright bad. Nickit and Thievul, I think these are great shinies. I actually quite enjoy them a lot. I'm gonna put them in amazing. Berserker is pretty cool. It's like a yellow gold. I think it does look pretty good. I'll put it in B tier though. But now we come to our first S tier. Ponyta and Rapidash, the cotton candy unicorn now, deserving of S tier. Now Galarian Farfetch though, we go from S to an F tier. I can barely notice that it's shiny. Galarian Weezing, what a cool Pokemon. Honestly, one of my favorite Galarian forms, but the shiny just turns from like the gray to a brown. I think it could be better. It's not downright bad, but I definitely think it could be better. Galarian Mr. Mime, which again, great Galarian form, but the shiny, not much to say. And for another Galarian form, honestly, Galarian Corsola, I think this is what it originally should have looked like, but in my opinion, it's also an F tier. But this Galarian form might be one of the best shinies of all time. Galarian Zigzagoon, easiest S tier, as well as Lanoon, yes. And might as well just grab Obstagoon right now, drop it up there. Probably my favorite shiny of all time. Yeah, you really like the Zigzagoon too, right? Yeah, you do. Galarian Darumaka and Darmanitan. It's got the little green spots on its face and its hands. Like, I'll put it in the green section. I think it's downright bad. Which I'll also keep the Zen mode there. Galarian Yamask. You can't really do much with this one. I mean, the eyes change a little bit and it goes from like a black to a bluish tint. Which again, is not deserving of F tier in my opinion. But I do think it's downright bad. Galarian Sunfisk. I think it works. It's definitely passable. I don't think it's bad. I think it's middle of the road. Now Gossifleur, I actually really like this one. I'm debating on putting it in A tier, and I think I will. Eldegoss, I'll put it in B tier. I wish like its big head ball would change colors. I think B tier still works for it. Now Wooloo and Double, I'll put it in S tier. Like, it changes so much from the original that I like it. And I'll also put the evolution there. Trudel and Dreadnought. I'm debating on putting this S tier. I think I'll go A. I'm a huge fan of the green shinies. I think they're amazing. A tier. Yamper and Bolton. Not a fan of the Pokemon at all. And the shiny. Now, Roly-Poly to Colossal. I used to not be a fan of the shiny because I didn't think it changed that much. But after Scarlet and Violet, I actually really like it. I'll put it in C tier. It could obviously be better. Unlike Applin, which you go from a red apple to a green apple. I think it's genius. Probably one of my favorites of Gen 8. Has such a great shiny that it deserves S tier. Silicobra and Sandaconda. They're not horrible. I'll put this one in could be better, and I'll put this in not bad. I do think Silicobra could have been better. As for Cramorant, what a cool shiny. I like the bright orange. It's such a drastic change and I love it. So it's going in A. It's amazing. The Arrokuda line, it could be a lot better, I think. Toxel and Toxtricity. I think Toxel deserves S tier. I love the pink. I think it deserves S tier. And for Toxtricity, I'll put it in A tier. For the Sizzlipede line, all that changes is its back, and you don't really see its back too much. So I'll put it in D tier, honestly. I think it has one of the best Gigantamax forms, but for the shiny, I think it's in D tier. For Clobbopus and Grapplotte, for some reason, I'm not a huge fan of Clobbopus's shiny. It does change a lot, but it doesn't really work for me. But Grapplotte, so sick. I love the red instead of the blue. I'll put it in amazing. For another one of my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon, Sinisty, the shiny's not great. It's hard to notice. Like in Scarlet and Violet, it took me a second to notice that it was shiny or not. So I will put it in C tier. Could be better. They're not horrible. The Hatena line doesn't really change too much, honestly. I'll put it in D tier as it's still pink. It's just like a lighter shade of pink. But now we got Impotent. This is another S tier. I think the blue works so well. And the fact that when it evolves, he goes white and pink. S tier. I just realized that I said Berserker before, but that was Galarian Mouth. Now it's Berserker. And honestly, just get in there with your pre-evo. I think it does change. I love the orange beard. And then joining its friend as well. Not a great shiny. I love the hints of black to it, but it doesn't really change that much. Farfetch'd, awful shiny. Easiest F tier in this entire list. But Surfetch'd, I think this is amazing. The white to gold is such a big difference, and it looks so good because it's actually a gold color instead of a yellow. A tier, I think it's amazing. Then we got Mr. Rhyme and Runerigus. They don't really change too much. They look pale. I think they're both F tiers to me. Milcery, I think is actually really cool. Goes from the yellow to a white. I think it just looks really clean. And as well as Alcremie, I think it's B tier, not bad. Then we got Phalanx, which I think this is an A tier. I love the brown. It's super noticeable, especially in Scarlet and Violet. What a cool Pokemon in general. I think this spiky little guy, I like its orange nose, so I'll put it in D tier. I think it is downright bad because what's worse than that is Snom. I think that's also an F tier. It looks like his face got stained from like drinking some milk. I don't know. But Frostmoth, I think it's a D tier. I don't think it's that nice. Stonejourner though, something about it being a darker rock, like a different shade of gray, just to me looks a lot nicer than the light gray. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Iskew though, that's an A tier. The pink head penguin, so nice. Easy A tier to me. Indeedee, I don't think it's downright bad. I definitely think it could be better, so I'll put it in C tier. I do really like Morpeko's shiny though. I think it looks really clean. I think it looks way better than the original in my opinion, so I'll put him in B tier. He's not bad at all. Cuffin, I don't think it goes any higher than a D tier. I do think it could be a lot better, as well as its evolution. When I got it shiny, I barely noticed. Now for Draco and Arctovich, Zolts, all four of them, I really like how it goes from like pretty colorful to almost like a black and white version of each of them. I think they could improve a little bit, but they're still really nice. And okay, this one kind of hurts me because I really like the Pokemon, especially its Dynamax form, but the shiny is barely noticeable. It's like a more silver version of it. I'm gonna have to put him in F tier. Kind of hurts me a little bit. I think I'll put Dragapult in S tier, and the rest I'll put in amazing, because I think it just gets better honestly as it evolves. Like the colors are more noticeable, and in general the Pokemon just gets cooler, and Dragapult shoots out Dreepy from its head, so it's just better all around. Now we got to the legendaries of Sword and Shield. Zacian and Zamazenta are not bad. I definitely think they could be better, but I do think they work, but I'll put them in B tier. I don't think they're amazing, but they're definitely not bad. Now Eternatus though, its original color scheme is really cool. It's an amazing shiny. It's close to S tier to me, but I do think it's an amazing shiny regardless. Kubfu and Urshifu, not released yet as a shiny form, at least I don't think. And its orange nose is D tier. It's downright bad. It could have been a lot better, could have been a lot cooler. I'll put Urshifu, both forms of Urshifu there too, as well as Zarude. Its body goes from being gray to brown. It looks okay, I guess, but I do think it's downright bad still. It could have been a lot better, but it's not as bad as Regieleki. F tier. Regidrago honestly joins that in F tier. I just think they could have done so much more with it. It just changes to like a slightly blue tint. You'd have to like squint your eyes and like look side by side, you know, like. And again, Clash tier, F tier to me, because Spectrum, that's an A tier shiny. Then we got Calyrex, which side by side it's hard to like see the difference. I think instead of white it's like a yellow or like a stained white. I can't really tell. So I think I'm gonna put it in F tier as well. I don't really like the shiny form. And then its mounted forms. I know Calyrex himself is shiny, but like it removes the colors of Spectre, which if it didn't, it would be up in A tier. And now the legendary Slowpoke, which I don't know why he was in this section, but I do quite enjoy it. I don't think it's bad. Again, not a fan of yellow shinies or yellow Pokemon. It changes drastically from its original. And then like the peachy cream color of Slowbro, really cool. I think it's B tier, not bad at all. Slowking though, I'll put it in C tier. And that concludes my Sword and Shield ranking. But in Generation 8, we have PLA Legends Arceus. So starting with Growlithe, it pretty much keeps the same colors as the Cantonian version. I'm a big fan of, I quite like it, but I do think they could have done a little bit better with both. Voltorb and Electrode though, I really like the black instead of like the red and blue. It works really well with like the wooden Pokeballs that they have in the game, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm gonna put these in amazing. I actually really like them. Typhlosion, one of my favorite Pokemon. I really like this form. I just wish the flames would have changed colors in the shiny. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. I think it could have been better. It's definitely not bad to me. I'm a little biased as well. Quillfish and Overquill, it looks really cool. I love the spikes on it, like the tips are purple. The regular Pokemon looks sick. So I'm gonna put them both in A tier. I think they're amazing. Hisui and Sneasel, I think the shiny is really nice. It goes from being like a lighter version to this black and gold. So I actually think it's amazing. I really like the Sneasel shiny. Sneasler on the other hand, I definitely think could have been better. I'm not a fan of the color. I guess next up we got Dialga and Palkia. The shiny version of Agent Dialga looks so nice. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. It looks amazing. As for Palkia though, what did they do with its arms? I don't know. I don't like this one at all. And I think Palkia has a really bad shiny in general, and they didn't really fix it. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. Lilligant with the orange flower and the teal body, I think it's B tier. Definitely not bad. Could have improved a little bit, but I still think it looks really nice. B tier. I think Hisui and Samurott in general looks quite similar. The shiny does change it up a little and makes it look different from its regular version, so I do think that's nice. I'll put it in B tier. It's definitely not bad. As well as Decidueye, I think the autumn colors work really well, but this is definitely a nice shiny. White Stripe Basculin doesn't change that much. I'm gonna have to put that in F tier. Basculegion though, I do quite like these shinies. I'll put them in C tier. I do think they could have been better, but I can't complain too much. I just don't think they're as nice as some of them in the B tier. So Hisuian Zora and Zoroark, don't think they're S tier, but they're like high up on my A tier. I really like both of them, especially Zoroark. I love the purple instead of the red. I just think it looks really nice. Purple is one of my favorite colors. As well as Hisuian Braviary, the blue flames and the black body. What a nice looking shiny. I think it looks so much better than the regular Braviary, so I think A tier. But what did they do to my boy Gumi? Why did they make your body look like the poop emoji? I don't think it's like F tier, but it's definitely low D tier. I don't like what they did with it. Gumi and Goodra have such nice shinies, being the yellow. And again, I'm not a fan of yellow, but I just think it works so well. In this, they kind of just literally shat on its shiny. Hisuian Avalugg, it's not horrible. It just adds like orange to its snowplow fins. I think I'm gonna have to do D tier. So I know I said I'm a fan of green shinies, but I don't know what they did with Weirdeer. It's such an ugly shade of green. That is the definition of baby puke green. That's a D tier. Then we got Cleavor, which I do think it improves on its base form. This is where I think the green works really well. I'll put it in B tier. I don't think it's bad at all. And I think Ursaluna is like the definition of C tier. there's nothing horrible about it. I just think they could have done a lot better. And finally, we have Enamoris. I think that's an F shiny. This Therian form as well. I think that looks stupid in my opinion, but this is the shiny ranking and it's still stupid. F tier. So there we go. That is my Gen 8 tier list. Let me know what you agree or disagree with. There is the Gigantamax forms, but honestly, actually, whatever. They're here. Might as well rank them. You know what? Orbeetle, go with your fam. I love the concept of like the UFO, but the shiny B tier, not bad. You go with your fam. Looks the same. If I was ranking the Dynamax forms, it'd be completely different, but this is just the shiny ranking. Urshifu. Rillaboom though, he's hiding behind the drum set, so you can't really tell. Cinderace 2, D tier. It's hiding behind what I think is a fire soccer ball. Like Inteleon, I quite like Inteleon, but most of it's a sniper tower. Like, is that part of his body, or is that, where does it come from? Too many questions. I'll put it in D tier. I think it's better than the regular one, but like not by much. Sandaconda, I'll put you up there too. Gigantamax Colossal, keeps the blue, goes with the line. I think C tier works. Atena as well, I think it's D tier. Applin, honestly, is not as good as the previous ones. The green kind of gets lost in it a little bit, as well as Corviknight. I think B tier works for it. Gigantamax Dreadnought though, I really like how it keeps the exact same color palette as regular Dreadnought, as well as Toxtricity. I quite like this Gigantamax form. In general, I love Gigantamax form. I think it's almost tied with Mega Evolutions to me. I think they work really nice, and there's some great designs in here. Like, for example, Sizzlipede, so cool, but it's shiny. It's just down here. Like, it doesn't really change that much. As for Alcremie though, I really like this one. I'll put it in B tier, not bad. Giant wedding cake, really cool. Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, it keeps the white body. It changes a little too much. I'll put it in A tier because it's still really cool. Now, they're not on the list, but I have them pulled up here, and I'm not sure if they're even available. Gigantamax Venusaur, pretty much the same as regular Venusaur, although the flower gets a lot bigger. I'd put it at A tier. Charizard, one of the best shinies ever released in Pokemon. I don't like the Gigantamax form too much, but the shiny is really nice, so I think that deserves S tier as well. Blastoise definitely deserves A tier. Butterfree, I think it's B tier. It's not bad at all. Butterfree has a great shiny. Pikachu has never had one of the best shinies, and you make him a fat Pikachu. Again, I love the Gigantamax form, but I'll put it in C tier. I think it could have been better. Meowth, it doesn't have a really nice shiny to begin with, and the Gigantamax form doesn't help it out that much, so I'm gonna put this one in D tier. Gigantamax Machamp though, I think this is an S tier. I love it. I think the green works really well. He looks just more Hulk-like than ever. Adding to S tier, you know, Gengar. Shiny Mega Gengar is one of the best shinies in Pokemon. And then Gigantamax form keeps the white, which I'm so thankful for. S tier. Kingler, I'm gonna have to put in C tier. It's all right, you know. Lapras, easy A tier. Eevee, shiny Eevee's like a snow fox, pretty cool. I'll put it in B tier. Snorlax has never had a great shiny. I'll put him in D tier. But while editing, I actually found the real Gigantamax shiny Snorlax, and it's honestly like an A tier. The body doesn't really change too much from the regular shiny, but the tree and the flowers surrounding it changed like an autumn color. I think that's actually great. Garbodor, probably my favorite Gigantamax form. Something about having the boats and the planes and everything in them. It's just such a cool design. The shiny's not bad. I'll put him in B tier. And finally, Melmetal. What a weird ass looking Gigantamax form. And the shiny doesn't change that much at all. That is an F tier to end off this ranking. That was so many Pokemon that we ranked. Gen 8 was filled with bangers. I think everything from C tier up are really nice and better than a lot of what we got in Scarlet and Violet. After playing through the game, they grew on me so much, and honestly might be one of my favorite generations. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more Pokemon content. I hope you guys enjoyed. So